Picture this. A legendary two-time MotoGP champion swooping in to offer his insights on a rider's nightmare season. That's the dramatic twist unfolding with Casey Stoner and Pecco Bagnaia's turbulent 2025 campaign on the Ducati. But here's where it gets controversial. Is the bike really the culprit, or is it time for Bagnaia to rediscover his mojo? Stick around, because this story dives deep into rider feedback, team dynamics, and what it means for the future of MotoGP racing. For those new to the sport, MotoGP is the pinnacle of motorcycle racing, where elite riders push cutting-edge bikes to their limits on global circuits. Casey Stoner, who clinched championships in 2007 with Ducati and 2011 with Honda, isn't a full-time paddock regular anymore, but he pops up as a guest and has a solid rapport with Bagnaia. Since 2022, Stoner's been sharing advice and observations, and now, with Bagnaia's season in tatters, the Italian rider is urging Ducati's engineers to tune into Stoner's super useful input. Bagnaia, struggling mightily this year on the 2025 spec Ducati, believes the bike clashes with his riding style and lacks the strengths of the previous model. It's been a rough ride, with teammate Marc Marquez dominating and inching toward the title. Marquez's success, Bagnaia notes, shows how a skilled rider can overcome a bike's flaws, much like Marquez did during his Honda days. Yet Ducati insists the GP25 isn't a radical departure from the GP24. And this is the part most people miss. The engine homologated for the season wasn't even the planned 2025 version. It was scrapped after testing to avoid risks. Ducati's technical chief, Gigi Dall'Igna, explained it plainly earlier this month. We've kept things evolutionary, not revolutionary. The 25 bike builds on the 24 with tweaks for durability rather than power. Sure, there are minor changes like the fairing and gearbox elements, but it's not the big leap we made from 23 to 24. This stance has fueled a clear divide between Bagnaia and the team. Is the slump due to bike design needing tweaks, or is it Bagnaia's confidence that needs rebuilding? For beginners, homologation in MotoGP means freezing certain bike specs to control costs and innovation, so engines can't change drastically year to year. Enter Stoner as the expert witness. While Ducati publicly backs Bagnaia, there's tension over the root cause. Stoner, observing from trackside at Misano during the San Marino Grand Prix, spotted issues unique to Bagnaia's bike that other Ducati riders didn't face. I chatted with Cristian Gabarini, Pecco's crew chief and my old one, about what I saw. Stoner shared on the MotoGP World feed. Pecco's complaints matched what I witnessed. Things that just didn't look right compared to the others, who seemed at ease. Stoner even joined Bagnaia in the garage for the post-race test and lingered in Italy, hanging out with Valentino Rossi, Bagnaia's mentor, and the VR46 Academy. At Motegi, Bagnaia revealed Stoner's feedback echoed that of Ducati's rider performance analyst, Manuel Poggiali, a former 125cc and 250cc champ. Having Casey around was fantastic, Bagnaia said. He's outside Ducati now, offering fresh perspectives to the tech team. We bonded over go-karts and chats at the ranch. It was incredibly helpful. Bagnaia emphasized Stoner clearly saw what my bike was doing and hinted at a plea for engineers to heed this input. It's super useful if you listen to them. Stoner and Poggiali provide a view engineers might miss, since they're not out there riding. Data and rider words are key, but watching the action adds another layer. When asked if this feedback mattered more to the engineers than to him, Bagnaia quipped, "Maybe, but I'm the one who listens to him more." Looking ahead to 2026, Ducati's lineup is shaping up with 4 factory spec bikes. Bagnaia, Marc Marquez, Alex Marquez, and Fabio Di Giannantonio. Fermin Aldeguer and Franco Morbidelli will ride GP25 variants. But what does GP25 really mean now, and how will the GP26 evolve? MotoGP's 2-year engine freeze complicates things. Theoretically, no new engines for GP26. Yet Ducati downplays differences between this year's GP25 and GP24 engines, sparking debate. Bagnaia dreams of a comeback. This season felt like Marc's solo show, No one challenged him consistently. I want to be at my peak again, as my lap times were often slower than last year. It could make for an epic battle. This situation raises eyebrows. Is Ducati playing it too safe with bike evolutions, or should riders like Bagnaia adapt more? And here's a controversial take. Maybe external voices like stoners are the key to innovation, challenging the status quo of in-house engineering. What do you think? Should teams prioritize rider feedback over data alone, or is confidence the real game changer? Do you side with Bagnaia on needing bike tweaks, or Ducati's cautious approach? Share your opinions in the comments. Let's debate.